Okay, we're recording. All right, and hi everybody. Welcome to the maybe next version of the IMSCast. It's Dave.
And Adam.
And we just got done seeing Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. What'd you think?
The popcorn was okay, and I put too much ice in my drink, so I thought it was pretty watered down near the end. But all in all, it was pretty good. How about you?
I liked it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We'll do some not spoiler talk about it, and then we'll give you a lot of heads up, and then we'll talk about some spoilers. So, what is this, the 7th? What number is this?
I wish they'd number them, because it'd be a lot easier, but...
So, I don't remember much about the one previous to this.
Fallout, I think it was?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I saw it, but I don't remember a lot about it. And, like, yeah, do you really need to remember a lot about it? Like, you know, it's the Mission Impossible movies.
It's not a series you need to, like, follow closely, but it's just a good thing to jump in and just have it's a good summer flick, right? Like a good...
Right.
Yeah.
Overall, I guess, what are your thoughts on this series so far? And then we'll talk about this one.
I don't know. I think they're all explosive. I mean, every movie I come to, every time I watch these movies, I get exactly what I'm coming here for. Mm-hmm. Just all the chase scenes. It's just it's like a formula. It's like the exact same ingredients in all the movies mixed up to make a brand new recipe every single time. And I'm never disappointed. But you never too surprised at what you're going to find too.
Right. So I loved the early ones. Even 2, I really, really enjoy, even though, it's weird and John Woo and there's doves and weird shit going on. But I still really like it. 3, I really like. 3 or 4, those 2 might be my 2 favorites of the thing. But obviously it's a series that's based off of weird spy stuff, but also Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise and doing all the stunts and stuff. So, you know, with all of that going on, how did you think this one landed?
I mean, they incorporated everything: the motorcycles, the masks, the fight scenes, and a lot of Tom Cruise running, a lot of pan shots of him running with his blown out chest, and I don't know, I just checked out, like, my Mission Impossible bingo card was, I think I won a few times, a few different rows were covered there, so it was great. Loads of suspenseful scenes. I think it kicked off in a really intriguing way. That really gripped me from the very, very beginning all the way to the end. So, like, before we even get, like, close to, like, did you like it, did you not like it, I guess there were certain parts that definitely hit for me, and there was a couple of things that missed, I think. But overall, I was happy. I thought it did what I needed to out of this, right? Which is, to be an entertaining, like you said, be an entertaining summer movie. So, there was some parts in the middle that I thought were kind of odd, like, without going into too much about the plot, I was going to look to see what was in the descriptions that were already out there, right? Because I did not see anything. I think I saw the trailer and I didn't really know what this was about, other than, like, hey, it's another Mission Impossible. But there were some parts that, I don't know. I'm used to Mission Impossible doing something new in that genre, right? Like in the spy movie, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this before, and there wasn't a lot of that in this. What did you think? Yeah. Like the very opening of the movie is like this submarine stuff, right? So like that caught me in a way. I'm like, ooh, this is new. This is a new environment. We haven't done this before. Right. Like, think about any other movie where you love submarine stuff, and like that does something for me, right? Like that, I'm like, ooh, what a fantastic, interesting environment to tell a story in. And I thought that was going to go further than it did, but I don't know. That was cool, but that was so minor. It was just a way to introduce the story. Other than that, I don't think it was pretty much, like I said, the familiar ingredients, and again mixed up in a new way that I don't think they accomplished what they set out to do. I know this is just part 1. We don't know when part 2 is coming out, but.
Did you think it was a satisfying part 1?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you do. Maybe the Avengers showed us how to do that. How to do a really good 1 and then 2. Dune showed you how to do a part one, although some people didn't think that was as satisfying.
I don't know. I think that's hard to do. Like, you just stop. You want to keep going. There's clearly there was just a fuzzy delineation. If we were to talk about the specific end scene, you're just like, you just want that to just keep carrying into the next scene.
Right.
There was no like
Right.
heart stop moment where you're just like, oh, there wasn't a healthy gap there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess for a part one, it wasn't bad. I guess for a movie that goes 2 hours and 45 minutes, you know, do you need a part two at that point? It's like, yeah, did they overstuff to make it 2 parts? Could they have done this in one?
Yeah, I had thought about that through a lot of the scenes, some of the chase scenes, and a couple of like the environments, the different places that you tour through. All of them felt a little bit kind of ballooned or blown out a little bit.
Right.
Right, and that had crossed my mind while we were watching. Right, so I think about that. Where are you telling 2 stories, or is this just one long story? And if it's one long story, like I don't know, is it? Why break it into 2? Like,
Right.
how are we going to be viewing this in the future, right? If someone's going to be like, oh, I love part 1, and then you just watch that and be done, compared to like an Infinity War Endgame, it's just like both of those things, absolutely are connected, but they're very separate films. Where this one's just kind of like, this is just going to be, even Kill Bill 1 and 2. There's a lot of ones that done that
That's a good
really,
one. That's
really,
a good
really
one,
well, and this is just, I don't know, like it should have been like a 5-hour long movie, I guess, but no one's going to sign up for that. What they do sign up for is a paid, Netflix subscription, and they stretch it out over 10 episodes, and everyone will slam that no problem without any complaint. But you can't do that in a movie theater because people would
Right.
have riots in the streets.
Yeah. There's definitely some parts. I think that I've seen plenty. It feels like movie length for especially like these prestige movies keeps getting longer, right? What was Spider-Man? Was the newest Spider-Man was over 2.5 hours
For an
wasn't
animated
it?
film, yeah, it was wild. Yeah.
Yeah, but that movie didn't have me looking at my watch. I wasn't thinking about like, wow, is this? That's another good one, right? Where this is part 1. That one didn't have me thinking about like, did they put too much in this? The whole time I'm just like, this is incredible. I'm here for
Yeah.
everything they're doing,
Where this movie, you felt like it was slowing down, like, oh, they're gonna land this plane soon, aren't they? Where Spider-Man, they just yanked the plug while you're watching that, and it's just wham! This part 1 is over with,
Yeah, like you said, for a popcorn movie, it was good. I don't think it borderlined on great, as some of the other stuff we've seen come through lately. And I don't know, they're well placed to do a sequel, but what is that going to look like? Are they going to be able to land the thing? Definitely, there were. I think we were about an hour left of it, so we're approaching the hour 45, and I'm like, this seems like the logical endpoint. And then they kept going and they found more, which actually was cool because at that point in the movie, I was like, is this all there is? Mm-hmm. We haven't seen the Tom Cruise stunt that he's doing some weird stuff. You know what I mean, right? Everyone has like the gimmick stunt that he's doing.
Yep.
And so what is that? And at that point, we hadn't seen that yet, right? And it was kind of like, okay, I get what this is. Then I think they finally found that gear at the end. If there wasn't for that last 45 minutes of the movie, I'd have been like, that movie kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Absolutely, yeah. And then speaking of that stunt that he performed, like, did you notice like where it seemed like there was a shift in like how it was edited together? It was almost like, all right, here's Tom's big stunt, ready, go, Mark, go.
Yeah.
And then once that played out, then it was just like, okay, his stunt's over.
Yeah.
Now back to the rest of the movie in shot in whatever familiar format it was, or special effects environment. It was, everything was enclosed in. I don't know, something about that stunt just kind of felt, in its own little world.
So this was, real quick, we'll go over a little bit of the rest of the movie with like the filmmaking and that stuff, and then we'll hit spoilers here in a little bit. So, a lot of lens flare, which I wasn't expecting, right?
Yeah, I didn't pick up on it. But
Oh, you didn't?
No, I don't
Oh
know.
God, this was like This was like old school levels of lens flare. I thought.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think I was managing my expectations too much. I came in and just kind of like shut down,
Right.
got comfortable, and just stuffed my face.
I
with popcorn.
was very much thinking about the Abrams effect when they were going through this. There was a lot. If you looked for it, there was a lot. You want to call anybody's performance in the movie?
I was happy to see Haley Atwell. I think that's maybe a big miss on my part.
She was great.
I didn't even know she was going to be in it. I liked the character that she played.
Yeah.
She was this innocent character throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just wasn't like the action star, but she absolutely had a really interesting place in the movie. And I don't know. I think that's the one I would point out.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Haley Atwell was the key. I know a couple of the other characters in there. I would bring up IMDb, but I won't worry about that right now. So I thought she was really, really good and a good addition to the team, as it were. So
yeah, and I don't know her name, but the character played Mantis in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I didn't do my research before this movie, but I was a little disappointed because I thought we could see some more character from her, because she almost seemed like just like a stunt character. I'm here for fight scenes and that's it, and that's.
I am so over that trope of the BA female who doesn't talk ever. I'm over that. Like, we've seen that so many times now.
Yeah.
That was Gina Carano in Deadpool. It was Ruby Rose in one of the John Wick movies. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen that so many times, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, are we doing this again? Did
Yeah.
you feel that?
Yeah, I didn't make that connection necessarily, but
I wanted more.
yeah, absolutely. She could have demanded a much more presence with how badass of a character she was.
Totally.
Like, they wanted you to know how cool she was.
Yeah.
And she was, but I don't know why they kind of stopped short and didn't really allow her to like lead any scenes.
Right. All right, then before we hit Spoiler Town, I mean, thumbs up, thumbs sideways. I don't know. We didn't talk about a grading scale. What do you give it? Like 5 out of 6 popcorns? What do you into this?
I don't know, like thumbs up, like whatever. I'm good. Like I said, I managed my expectations well.
You were just like, just entertain me.
I knew what I was going to get into, right? Like,
washed over my face.
Absolutely. I caught some trailers and whatnot that kind of helped manage that, but I kind of knew what I was signing up for, and I was gonna have. I knew I would make fun with this. I would create that fun, and just I'm here to goof. So
Yeah, and I kind of, like I said, I think it was good but not great. They hit the high points that I wanted to see. Certainly, the last bit of the movie, the climax of the movie, helped out quite a bit. But 3.5 out of 5.
yeah, sure.
That's kind of where I put it. So anyway,
That's the official score.
It's worth seeing it. Very enjoyable movie. So do that, and we'll wait for, let's say, 10 seconds, and then we'll do spoilers. So we'll do 10 seconds starting right. Hold on, ready? Now, in 10 seconds, we're going to go spoiler free. So you've been warned many times. You got 5 seconds. You got 4. We're going to do spoilers starting right now.
All right.
Spoilers.
Man, let's spoil this now.
Did you know Tom Cruise was going to be an alien? No.
Did they declare that this is going to be is this like the final Mission Impossible movie?
I don't know that they've said that.
Is that
I
what
haven't.
they're doing?
I haven't been following like the hype around it. So
This was a Tom Cruise production, a Tom Cruise film. It was in the very beginning. Have we seen it before? This isn't really spoiler territory quite yet, but I'm building up to something. Like,
I think this is a thing that he's been kind of like pushing into, right? Like ever since he brought on like Ralph McQuarrie, or what's the guy? I don't want to say Ralph McQuarrie. That was the guy from Star Wars. Whatever the guy, the director that he's been working with a lot lately. He's been like producing and having his hands in a lot more lately. So like it's like a Tom Cruise joint now.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, at what point is Tom Cruise going to separate himself from acting in these movies?
Right.
Like, is that what this is? Like, are we looking for? I'm just laying eyes. I'm looking at the cast and the crew. I'm like, is this going to be? How do we move forward now? Or maybe there aren't plans for that. Maybe he's just going to bookend this and it's done. But I mean, anyways, nothing that stood out. Like Haley Atwell, like at the end, being like, "Yeah, I'm in the IMF now. I'm one of the gang."
I liked that they brought back Kittredge. being a big fan of number one. And that's actually one of the things I was going to say was it definitely felt like they were making lots of callbacks to the number one, to some of the stuff that Brian De Palma was doing in that movie, which was really unique for the time. Bringing Kittredge back, obviously, is kind of a whole thing. But, like, the problem for me with all of that stuff is then it's like, if Kittredge has been around for forever, why don't we hear about him? He was such a big part of that movie, but he's been completely absent from everything else. Like, what's that about? Like, that I don't get that.
Was he played by a different actor before?
No, it was the same guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was the same guy. So that's the kind of stuff, I don't know. You could drive semi through some of the weird holes and that I thought, like, if you follow some of this stuff, and I get that it's an action movie, you're not supposed to think about it, but like I haven't felt this way before in one of these movies, where, like, if you follow any of these plot points to their natural next step, it doesn't make any sense. And I never have gotten that feeling from this series before, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Some of that stuff was funny. Like, if you listen to the dialogue, it almost meant it was less about driving the story forward and filling those plot holes. It was more about, like, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is the plan. And almost, like, was expecting them to turn to the camera and, like, look at the audience and be like, okay, this is what we're going to do, right?
Right.
It's just so everyone's, hey, you all with me? Understand what we're working on?
So, the story in general is about this rogue AI that everybody's trying to get the key to kill or basically, like, get it on their side, which, okay, fine, you need some MacGuffin, everybody's got to chase something, I get that. But, like, it felt like it was trying to be the Matrix at some point in the middle, right? When he's, like, on that headpiece, I just kept getting like, oh, this is kind of giving huge
too much
Matrix vibes, right?
That's too much. That kind of pulled me out of it. I'm like, that didn't feel as believable. One thing I really, there are always stretches, but I feel like Mission Impossible did a good job of, like, staying relatively grounded.
Yeah.
Get playing real fast and loose with technology and the masks and, like, that stuff's fun. That stuff's really fun. But yeah, when they get into that AI predicting the future and things like that, I'm like, it makes sense when you say it, but then when I watch it, I'm thinking, I think you're going too far with that. That's not interesting to me.
One of the other things that, like, was just stood out to me as, like, a nit to pick was, like, so all of these guys, especially Kittredge, is an IMF. He knows about the IMF. There's all these other people in the government who know about IMF, but they're not supposed to talk about it with these people that, like, the career espionage people don't talk about it with the people that come and go through different administrations. But I'm like, Kittredge, come on, man, you can't see you didn't anticipate the mask thing, like the stolen identity. This is like this is what you guys do. This is like page 1 out of your playbook and you don't see this coming?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I had a lot of that stuff going on. And again, it's weird because you don't get that from this series yet. And I don't know, maybe they're just trying too hard. Maybe it's me being a, jaded moviegoer, but I was like, I didn't get that level of, like, head scratching from this before.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think that is you. I think you're burnt out. You're jaded. I think you're asking for too much. Because I just took it at face value, right? No pun intended with the whole face.
Listen, you know me. I am just waiting very patiently for Dune 2 to come. Everything else is just going to be like, meh, I guess it's fine. It's not Denis Villeneuve. Anyway. The end train scene was awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That was, like, the high point of that movie. That saved the movie for me.
Yeah, I think I saw something online that I scrolled past quickly to avoid, but I'm making the connection now where it was an Uncharted scene, a really popular train scene in one of the Uncharted games, where it was doing that exact same thing, where, up is down, down is up, and then, the horizontal becomes vertical. That's a really cool environment to play in. That was fun. I like that.
They did some of that stuff, though, like, throughout that, too. Like, when they were doing the chase in Rome, and the car flips, and you see them from in the car, and everybody's going all crazy. That was great. They didn't have enough of that for me. I wish they could have done more of that unexpected from the stunt perspective. I think that would have been better.
Yeah, I thought Tom was going to do he was on motorcycles for a long I didn't time it, but there were enough motorcycles in the movie.
Oh yeah.
So if we were having a separate rating system on, does this meet Tom Cruise's motorcycle requirements? I think it did, but he didn't do much on them. Like,
well, he's good. Like, this is the thing, and this is where dude's old. Dude's like in his 60s now, isn't he?
I don't know.
I mean, he can't. this just feels like a natural, like how they're going to have to do it. They have to bring these other people to pass the torch off and do some of this heavy lifting because dude's old. He can't do it. He's going to like, break his spine.
Is it Haley Atwell? That's what I keep thinking about.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Is that?
We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe that's not the purpose of this. I don't want to go down that road and be like, okay, well, how are we constructing the franchise going forward? How, the rights to the movies and the path forward. Maybe again, this is just closing the book, and then someone else can figure it out because he's going to step away from it. But I don't know. I like this continuation of it. I think it was great. Yeah. But again, going back to a comment earlier, like his whole parachuting down to the ground. I'm like, oh, okay. I was just like waiting for the credits to roll. And I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Right.
He's riding in a car at the end, and they're driving off to wherever, and it just I didn't get any closure I wanted. There wasn't any. I wasn't left with the.
No,
it's like let's just continue the story. I don't know how else to say that. Like they didn't.
It's not one of the things just to illustrate that. One of the things that some authors do great, right? You get to that last page of the chapter, and you're like, oh fuck, what's next?
Yeah.
This did not have that. This ended. I was like, yep, that ended.
Someone will be able to, without knowing anything about the next movie, I feel like someone's going to be able to just splice them together, and you'll never know that they're two different movies. You'll never know that there was ever a gap there. Right?
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
know. Other than that long monologue that Kittredge gave.
That was too much.
Yeah,
that was too much.
Going, and then a movie ending where it started with the submarine.
Yeah.
Which... timely, right? Yeah, AIs, submersibles, right? Like I don't know, like for a movie like this was probably written in pre-production and all that kind of stuff, probably for the last couple of years.
Oh yeah,
2-3 years.
it has to be. Yeah.
So I don't know, someone.
Right. Yeah, cool. Anything else you want to talk about? We did it. We did it. Look at this. We did it. We podcasted. We'll put it up on YouTube, as you'll know, because you're probably watching this now. Hopefully, maybe we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe in a room with a microphone. We'll put it places.
Yeah. We'll do it in a neater environment.
I don't know. I like the car style.
Yeah.
It's the new way. We predated a lot of this new stuff. Now we got to do the TikToks. I don't know how I'm going to cut this up for TikToks, but we got to do that, right?
Yeah, we got to get a younger audience, right? Yeah,
for sure.
Younger generation. Yeah.
Younger kids want to watch old dudes in cars.
Absolutely, and listen to things that they have to say. Listen to their opinions. I've learned that through my own experiences.
It's true. It's true. Well, hey man, it's been good.
Yeah.
We might see you guys again soon.
See ya.